Welcome to yet another fresh episode of Fridays with Dhavles. I am Dr. Mansi Surti, Assistant Professor in Department of Psychiatry. Our today's topic is understanding suicidal ideations and its holistic management with homeopathy. What we would try to understand today is roots of suicidal ideations, various factors providing soil for suicidal ideations to emerge. Through three steps theory, we would try to understand the origin and evaluation of suicidal ideation. We would also try to correlate this theory with homeopathic concept of causations. Through case, we would try to understand importance of ancillary measures in holistic management in homeopathy. Why this topic? Because the number of deaths by suicide have been increasing every year, and in spite of significant interventions planned through several decades, there have been no corresponding decrease in the prevalence of death by suicide. In order to understand the entire gamut of suicidal behavior, suicidal ideation is a good indicator. In 2014, Clonksy and May came up with the entire framework to understand its origin, the first part of which is development of suicidal ideation and second part of which is progression from ideation to suicide attempt. The first part of development of ideation can be very well understood with the guidelines that Dr. Hahnemann gave in Aphorism 5 of noticing the entire history in order to understand the fundamental cause emerging from the chronic miasm. Also to ascertain the physical constitution, domestic and the social relation of the person with occupation, his habits as well. That becomes very important in order to understand the entire origin of the ideations. There are risk factors could be understood in terms of biological, psychological, and social. Biological causes includes family history, mental illnesses, chronic long-standing illnesses, which can also be understood in terms of disposition and predisposition. Psychological risk factors are addictions, depression, anxiety, somatization, and psychoticism. Psychoticism is aggression when it's coupled with hostility in interpersonal relationships. Social causes could be understood in terms of familial discords, parental separation, history of suicide attempts by parents, forceful marriage, any recent stressful life event, or a remote stressful event which has a long-standing impact. Origin of the ideation and its progress could be understood in terms of pain, hopelessness, and connectedness. When the psychological pain and hopelessness is overwhelming, it might give rise to suicidal ideations. Connectedness or belongingness of the person with self, with family, with his work, or with the surrounding, if is more relatively to the pain and hopelessness, then ideations could be moderate. But if pain and hopelessness is more compared to connectedness, it may give rise to strong ideations and it may increase the capability of committing a suicide. Capability could be understood or evaluated in three categories: dispositional, acquired habituation, and practical. Disposition includes the inheritance and the threshold to bear the pain. Acquired habituation is a person's ability to connect every challenging experiences with the pain, and practical is about the finding an easier way to commit suicide. We shall try to apply all of these three in a case. A case is a 55 years old female, known case of bronchial asthma, referred to psychiatry department in view of suicidal ideations. On evaluation, we find out there are on evaluation, we find out very clear suicidal ideations of death with the connectedness with the children preventing her from ending the life. There is complete inability to perform daily functions, creating significant amount of guilt and anxiety about daughter's future. On mental status examination, appearance is exhausted, lack of expression on her face, completely lost in her thought, and the speech and the tone of her voice was very, very low. She was continuously saying, why am I suffering from this? What is happening and why am I not able to work? Mood was very low and depressed, and there were ideations and a strong feeling and a thought of worthlessness. Inside is grade 4, just for the reason that she was aware of her altered thought and feeling, but she was not able to find a solution to that. The case was reviewed and some new information was found, which was related to the clinical picture coming up of dysthymia with the clear-cut ideations. There was also some dispositional qualities discovered, like sensitive to quarrels with a characteristic mental state of grief, despair, and guilt. On the basis of this totality of sensitive to rudeness, anger suppressed, want of confidence, feeling of being unloved and forsaken feeling with the mentioned physical generals, Mag Muir was given as a constitutional remedy. We shall now try to see what happens to this patient from 2018 to 2020. There have been suboptimal improvement. There was no desire to work and suicidal ideation, which kept on continuing to mild and moderate levels. Some on and off improvement was seen in her RS complaints and her sleep disturbances. But what happens on May 2020 is the patient tries to attempt suicide. She tries to pull up the chair and try to hang her. But fortunately, she gets saved and the attempt could not materialize. This compelled a physician to look at what has been done till now. On examination and analysis, it was found that as per need, there was change in potency and repetition, and intercurrent was given as per requirement. But what was the limitation of this management? The limitation was deliberate attempts to relate with this patient were very minimal. Assessment of the risk factors of biopsychosocial factors was lacking. Also, consideration of emerging characteristic mental state was also lacking, as well as case-specific ancillary measures were also not taken up. So now the next plan was to review the entire totality of the case, to evaluate suicidal ideations, to figure out therapeutic problem definition and resolution, and to prepare the case-specific ancillary measures. On understanding the entire totality of the case from childhood, we find that the patient as a child was very, very timid. She was irritable, had aggravation, contradiction, and outside home, she was extremely timid child. In school, she used to feel that she is less than others, she is not as smart as others, and she is not good enough. So there was this inferiority complex, as well as her feeling of being not good enough talks about the reproach, self-reproach, and self-criticism. At the age of 20 to 22 years, there is an unfortunate incidence of mother's death resulting into a significant grief, and the entire domestic responsibility started coming on her shoulders, which used to make her feel irritable and angry, which she could not express, leading to suppression. At the 23 years of age, there was an altercation between brothers where she was petrified. There was fear with palpitations, and because of the timidity and her sensitivity to quarrels, now she makes a decision to move with the brother who was residing in another city. Now over there, she has a strained relation with sister-in-law. Sister-in-law expecting her to do all the work. So again, the domestic responsibilities falling on her shoulders, making her feel angry. Also, the behavior of sister-in-law was not appropriate, making her feel very unfortunate as well. And at the same time, she started with the respiratory complaints. So we have somatization over here as a defense and suppression as a defense. Also, this led to strengthen her feeling of being unloved and started creating the feeling of sadness with despair over here. At the age of 32 to 33 years, she gets married, and in-laws were cooperative and husband was cooperative as well. She was blessed with two daughters. At the age of, in the span of 33 to 40 years, she started, there was a death of mother-in-law with whom she was attached as well. And after death of mother-in-law, the underlying grief got precipitated, and then gradually she started losing her ability to function on daily basis. There was anxiety for daughters. There was feeling of worthlessness, and the picture of the dysthymia begins over here, and suicidal ideations also begins over here. What we have, the qualified features available to us are a patient who is very sympathetic and sensitive to pain, ailments from grief, guilt, anxiety for family, self-reproach, anger suppressed, ideations with hanging, and sadness with despair, and following generals. Now, if we try to understand the origin and evaluation of her suicidal ideation with the three-step theory, then pain and hopelessness in the case is available to us when there was discord between brothers, her discord with sister-in-law, and death of mother and mother-in-law. All this giving rise to sadness and grief, consistent feeling of being unloved appearing as a cause, and psychological risk factor. Belongingness, we are able to see her attachment with daughters only. Not at all connectedness is found with her work, perhaps giving rise to a feeling of guilt, again a psychological risk factor and qualified mental expression. Capability in terms of disposition, mother was a known case of depression, and the threshold to bear the pain apparently appears to be less, giving rise to the attempt that she tried to make. Integrated understanding of the entire case could be the risk factors of family history of mental illness is available in a case, giving us a miasmatic understanding of a fundamental miasm as psychosis, and disposition appearing as a cause in this case. Chronic long-standing psychosomatic illness of bronchial asthma, again a dominant miasm in a case is psychosis and appearing as a predisposing cause to the mental illness. Mental illness already present in a case in a form of persistent depressive disorder, again a psychological risk factor, and a dominant miasm psychotic. Stressful life event, again a psychological risk factor available in form of death of mother and mother-in-law, maintaining cause, giving rise to grief. Familiar discord, again a social cause in a case available in form of discord with brothers and discord with sister-in-law, appearing as a precipitating cause, giving rise to a qualified mental state of sadness, despair. An impact of the mental illness on her is inability to function and do daily work, giving rise to the feeling of worthlessness and a significant amount of the guilt, anxiety, self-reproach, and suicidal ideations by hanging. Based on this newer understanding, now if we try to see, then the mental illness is appearing due to prolonged emotional cause as mentioned in aphorism 225. On the basis of the totality, now that we have been able to unearth its ailments from grief, anxiety, conscience of, anger suppressed, sadness, self-reproach from, sadness, despair with, sensitive to quarrels, suicidal ideations by hanging, aggravation, contradiction, anxiety with physical generals and characteristic particulars of cough aggravated by wet weather, change of weather and aggravation lying down, we have this repertorial totality. The remedies coming close are arsenic album, aurum metallicum, lycopodium, and natrum muriaticum. We would try to differentiate between very two close coming remedies, aurum metallicum and natrum mur. At the level of disposition, natrum mur has oversensitiveness to all impressions. There is also a great vulnerability with easy tendency to get hurt and nervous irritability. What we have in aurum met is profound depression and melancholy. And aurum met is extremely responsible person, perhaps go into excessive self-criticism and self-reproach, which is found in the case as well. At the level of mental expressions, natrum mur has a significant amount of brooding with the recalling of the unpleasant past occurrences with desire for solitude and consolation aggravation. Whereas in aurum metallicum, there is strong sense of neglection of duty and perhaps the brooding that hatches new grievances and intensifies the present state of depressed spirits. It also has the impulse, suicidal ideations or suicidal impulses and desire to destroy oneself, no love for self and the worthless feeling, which is also available in a case. At the level of possessions, both remedies have the causes of grief, disappointment in love, fright, anger, vexation and mortification. Tissue affinity, if we try to see aurum met, is at the level of mind, cardiovascular system and respiratory. Whereas in natrum mur, it's mind, female genital urinary tract, skin, and respiratory system. Based on this, the final selection of the remedy as a deep acting force was selected as aurum metallicum. Trying to craft the therapeutic problem definition and resolution in the case. At the clinical level, we are treating a case of dysthymia with suicidal ideation and a bronchial asthma. Potency selected was 1M, aurum met 1M, considering the higher level of the correspondence at the level of mind and body. And intercurrent was Thuja 1M. At the same time, ancillary measures of behavior modification on the weekly basis was planned. Expectations at the end was patient being able to achieve euthymic mood and become self-sufficient and reduce attack of asthma in frequency and intensity. The only precautions and the danger for expected or seen was dysthymia, which may not allow her to follow the regime of behavior modification. Social and psychological risk factors were also considered in problem definition, perhaps uh, gathering the support of family members and advising them to encourage in her attempts of modifications was made. And the precautions and danger was family may not be able to give her consistent support. However, the ancillary measures were planned very minutely, where first step which was taken was psychoeducation, where patient was given insight about her illness and she was waiting for the desire to come to start working, whereas she was explained that she should start working once the work begins. She would get back the desire and the essence that she was looking for. Micromanagement of scheduling her daily routine was made, where her sleeping time and waking time in the morning was being decided. At the same time, starting morning with a guided meditation was also been decided. Another action plan of preparing one dish for the lunch was also decided, considering to formulate a realistic goal rather than the ambitious goals. And all of this was decided with a mutual collaboration, and agendas were also decided by the patient herself. She was also asked to write her experiences, positive experiences and the difficulties that she faces by following these action plans. So the first week's action plan was about scheduling her day, guided meditation and preparing one dish for lunch. At the end of 2 weeks, what we were able to find was there was difficulty in waking up for 2 days in this span of 2 weeks. She could continue guided meditation, and she now at the end of 2 weeks wants to prepare the lunch. This statement comes from her, and her wisdom notes includes I will be able to work. There was encouragement from the family and her attempts were being acknowledged. She was 40 to 50% better, so SL packet was given. And at the end of 4 weeks, what we find is regular sleep cycles. She was satisfied with herself, but she was worried for why was she feeling so low before. She had an anticipation of what if I will get into that low feeling on low phase once again. So she was advised to revisit her wisdom notes and appreciate her inner strength. By doing this, her feeling of being inferior will get diluted and she will be able to gain some amount of confidence in herself. She had sneezing and body ache. It was a wet weather and there were rains. So Rustox 200 TDS was given for 3 weeks, followed by SL packet. Now for the fourth week of action plan that she comes up with is she wanted now to prepare, she felt capable of preparing the lunch and dinner both. And she was 70 to 80% better. At the end of fifth week, when she comes for the fifth week, she thanked doctor for helping her, and her view about the family members also changed, and she shared that she is finding them very supportive. And she also added that she would never ever try to end her life now. She would like to live for her family. So the take home from this entire case is evaluation of the suicidal ideation through three-step theory. Suicidal ideations are multifactorial in origin, and a homeopath should remain alert and examine all the risk factors very carefully. In follow-ups, it is very important to examine the functionality and the daily routine of the patient. Very precise plan for therapeutic problem definition and resolution is very effective in case management. And importance of the ancillary measures and behavior modifications play a key role in managing a case of suicidal ideations, and setting a realistic goal is very important. So what was implemented was a cognitive behavioral therapy. Also at the end, change in a behavior can change your thinking, and change in thinking can bring change in emotions. These are the references of the articles and the books taken in order to manage the case and prepare this presentation. I'm thankful to Department of Psychiatry, all patients for putting faith in us, and MLD MHI Palghar. And as a flower needs an environment to bloom, so does our life. You can also be someone's sunlight, water, and a vase. Do let us know your queries and comments, and please like, share, and subscribe the channel if you haven't. Thank you.